Hey guys, welcome to another random video. I've been pretty busy lately. Just a lot of stuff has been going on in my life, so I'm happy I'm able to just make this video right now. Apparently, I've caused a little chaos in the PS3 is not dead Facebook group. You see, a couple weeks ago, or maybe even a week ago, people were posting what is a underrated game, what's a hidden gem, games that aren't talked about enough on the PS3, or games that you like that no one seems to talk about. And pretty much all these posts I responded Rage, which I've gone off and on with since I think I was like 17. It reminds me a lot of Jak 3 because it takes place in a wasteland. There's vehicles that have boosting, just like a lot of the vehicles in Jak 3. And maybe these things were inspired by Mad Max. I am too young to know too much about Mad Max, except for the video game that I think came out either around this time or after Rage. And I think the rebooted movie series. Again, I don't know too much about Mad Max, but I know that this game kind of reminds me of Jak 3 and the Wasteland and that, and the vehicles. And Jak Daxter is like one of my favorite video game series. And there's even like small things in this that remind me of, even though it's a platform shooter and this is more of a RPG shooter, there's a lot of that like 2000s adventure vibes going on, like little side missions for racing challenges to unlock new upgrades, and the character dialogue, just something about it feels more like how video games were structured back then.
You guys looking for a bit of action?
Remember, the wasteland is a dangerous place.
And speaking of character dialogue, it's really good. This game was made by Bethesda. Most Bethesda games aren't known for their voice acting, but this has pretty good lip syncing, pretty good voice acting. Unlike most Bethesda games, this is more fast paced. The looting is like instantaneous. You don't have to go through menus to loot. You just grab everything and keep going. I like that. I like not having to really worry, and I'm able to focus more on the gameplay. And I love Bethesda games. I have put hundreds of hours into Skyrim and the Fallout series. I know there's people who've been playing it all the way since the first Elder Scrolls, but again, I wasn't conscious very much in the 90s and early 2000s. And it's weird that Bethesda got racing controls down so well and also got action gameplay down pretty well. The combat is really intuitive. I like that I can actually zoom in and go into irons with most of the weapons. A lot of games, especially in the late 2000s, didn't have proper sights on guns for some reason, but Rage did that pretty well. And it's just not talked about very much. So I mentioned it to pretty much everyone in the PS3 is not dead group, and before I knew it, people started posting about it. It started with one of the guys I recommended the game to picking up the game because he wanted a game that reminded him of Borderlands. He wanted an open world shooter, and I'm like, have you tried Rage? He said he liked it, and then that day, everyone was just posting about Rage. And now today, everyone is posting about how everyone is posting about Rage, and I think I accidentally created a Rage cult. I don't want to take entire credit for it because it was kind of organic, but I feel like I accidentally pushed the group in this direction. It's not like the most unknown game out there. I just felt like it wasn't talked about enough, but now, at least in the group, it is definitely talked about enough. I think we can kind of chill out with that. The gameplay that I'm showing is just me kind of replaying the beginning of the game. And I thought I'd point out a few things about it. At least on the PS3 version, it loads as you go, but if you jump to a new area, you can tell, like you can see all the textures just coming into existence. So a lot of times I just stand there because the game does look really nice once it's rendered. There's a bit of crafting that goes on that lets you into hidden rooms, and there's some puzzles that can get you into hidden rooms to get more crafting materials. In these type of games, I tend to grab and search through everything I possibly can. There's not as many like drawers and stuff to look through in this, so It keeps you moving along quite nicely, but that doesn't stop me from trying to search through everything I see because I don't want to miss anything. Possibly throughout this gameplay, you'll just see me wandering around looking for things. I haven't noticed any slowdown or frame rate drops, despite some of the limitations with the rendering. I think that's how they managed to get it run pretty smoothly. I don't know if it runs better on the Xbox 360. I know Skyrim runs better on the Xbox 360, but this seems to run pretty well on PS3. I have no problems with it. And without getting into a deep review, I guess what I can say is the story is good. You got a bunch of different weapons. The game goes on for quite a long time. It's kind of like if you mixed Fallout with Mad Max with a bit of Jak 3 and even a little bit of Borderlands. And if you haven't tried it, I mean, it feels redundant after everyone saying it in my group, but you should check it out. It's not very expensive, and there's a whole lot of game here for it kind of flying under the radar for a while. Anyways, that was my little review and what I got into in this Facebook group. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll have some longer form content coming out shortly. So I'll see you guys when that video comes out.